I need 50 more. What? It just looks mad, bro.
What?
Okay, go sit down. Let's get this podcast rolling.
Are we filming?
Because we have a podcast to film, that's why we're here.
I'm saying, are we filming?
Yes, everything is rolling at this current moment. We just need to do the clap thing for sound.
Nice.
That thing makes everyone flinch, bruh.
Pretty sure it does.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, phone's on silent. Dope.
First episode, eh?
Well, this is actually
No,
fourth episode.
First episode with me. How's your Coke there?
Oh no, it's it's lekker, bro. It's lekker. I haven't had an alcoholic beverage in a while, so it's quite nice.
Nice. You should probably do the intro thing, eh?
No, probably. We've changed the name, haven't we?
We have.
Okay, cool. Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 4. We have changed the name of the podcast. It's moved to being more on brand with Nor, which is kind of like this team, family, grip it brand that I like. I have tattooed on my arm, and Carlo's been a part of that. Yes, Carlo is here. You guys have not seen Carlo on this podcast, but if you've ever watched any of my other videos, this is Carlo. He's like kind of the guest. This is actually more of like a boys episode.
Well, without Juri.
Without Juri.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm in Joburg at the moment, and Juri had to stay back home, so we're just kind of sending stuff back and forth. But yeah, hopefully we can get myself, Juri, and Carlo to host this podcast, and I think that'll be mad.
Yeah.
Yo, Carlo, aka Noodles, aka Maggie,
Yeah.
aka
Yeah, I've got a lot of nicknames.
yeah, no, you do. But this is cool. It's nice to see you again. It's been a while.
It's nice to see you too.
Yeah, it's been since you were in Durban,
Yeah, a few months ago.
like June or something.
Yeah, before you started this lovely podcast.
Yeah, it's been a while. What do you mean lovely? You've been giving a cuck like
No,
almost
I
every day.
haven't.
You're like,
No, I
oh, you
haven't.
shit podcast, oh, you
Oh, you're exposing me.
because we're boys and we expose each other.
Yeah.
If we can do it off camera, we can do it on camera. We're not soft like the other people we know.
Damn. Okay.
Damn, straight into it.
Straight
Shots.
into it. Yeah. Okay. Well, as being the new co-host, I feel like we didn't have a whole thing about you yet, and I would like to know, Daniel. What is Nor?
Oh, okay. No. No stands for normal in an abnormal world. Should I tell the story of how I got that?
Yeah.
How normal and abnormal world came to be a K. That's a cool story. I worked in Kruger for about 2.5 years. I was managing a lodge, a 3-star safari lodge catered for internationals. And we started bringing on sort of kitchen students to come help and learn and shadow our chefs. And being a manager at 20, managing people that are like in their 40s, late 30s, some like later 20s, but being 20 and managing all these older people was very interesting and difficult, but it was interesting. But I treated them like normal human beings, not like a boss treats their employees. It was just like, I'm one of you, I'm here, part of the team, let's have a good time. And you know me.
Yeah.
Like, I do my thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, one day, walk into the kitchen, I run in, I'm like sliding on the tables, making jokes, commenting, whatever. And one of the top chefs kind of just looks at me and she's like, dude, what the hell? You're so weird. Every day you're doing this weird cuck, like, you're weird. What the hell? And one of our student chefs at the time, fuck, do I have beef on her? Not beef, but like fucking tea, dude.
That's a whole nother story.
That's another thing. But anyway, the student chef just looked straight at me and she's like, no, you're not weird. You're normal in an abnormal world.
Yeah.
And it's not the most grammatically or English correct phrase, but it just stuck. She's like, no, you're normal in an abnormal world. I thought about it. I'm like, holy fuck. It stuck. And So normal and abnormal world is our true happiness is based on what we find our normality to be. And if our own normality is a little bit away from what society sees it to be, that is you being normal in an abnormal world. The world has become abnormal. Society is abnormal. If you are truly going after what makes you happy and you're truly doing what you want to do, then you're the normal one. You're not conforming to fit in, because that's abnormal. So yeah, normal and abnormal world is just do what you want to make yourself happy, and yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like how the origin of like this whole movement started. I mean,
yeah, dude.
Look how far it's been since you heard those words and it's stuck. I mean, you based a whole company around it.
Yeah, I just felt like it really it resonated. Number one, I've never really been someone to want to do what everyone else did.
Yeah.
In primary school, and I've had this conversation with people in primary school, I thought I was crazy. Like I honestly thought there was something wrong with me mentally. And what a weird thing to be in primary school to think. Like our society's gotten to a point where kids are like, whoa, am I non-binary? Am I schizophrenic? Am I this? Like that shouldn't be a thing. Like when you're a kid, you just enjoy life. But kids that enjoy their lives, they grow out of that. Like we at an age now where we're slowly growing out of it unless we stay there. Because it's so easy to feel insecure and judged by other people. So yeah, the way it came about was really cool. I didn't manage the lodge in a conventional way at all. But I feel like that's why it worked and that's why I enjoyed it. And when this girl said that to me, I was just like, damn, that shit slaps. And then I've just held it with me ever since. And whenever I want to do something and someone's like, dude, why do you want to do that? That's weird. It's like, nah, you're weird for not wanting to do what makes you happy. So
true, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. And you meet people that are kind of the same. Like,
no, you definitely do.
I don't have a huge fan base, but there are people that DM me. They're like, "Yo."
Yeah, but you started a movement at the end of the day.
Like, yeah.
Like
that was the goal at the end of the day.
I think for a lot of us in South Africa, you know how some people have like a saying that's called misfits, right? And that's a word. It's for the people that doesn't. It's for the people that doesn't fit in with the rest of the world, like, and for people that's looking for a lot more in life. It's really cool to see how this movement started. I mean, in the beginning, we worked for another company, and we met each other through that company. And when you decided to move on with your own personal things, I kind of came along with you, and we started this with a few other people that were in the team as well. And yeah, dude, ever since you started that, you started planning a whole lot of things. We started doing the tour, all those things.
Yeah.
And I feel like this movement started kicking off during lockdown.
Yeah, 100%. So lockdown was when I decided to just jump into my own thing.
Yeah.
So the previous company that you mentioned, they had a great vision, but the execution wasn't there, and also partly my fault, 100%. But it was just one of those things. And when I decided to leave that company in lockdown, I was just like, yo, let me just send my thing, because I think it's important. At the end of the day, especially in lockdown, with everything going on, people got ripped out of society. So their normality, what they found to be normal in society, got completely ripped away from everyone.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people suffered and struggled with that, where I used it as a massive growth thing. I think a lot of people did. You did, I did. So normalizing the weird was cool. Like, it's cool to brand yourself as, look, I'm a misfit, I don't fit in, I'm going against the grain, and look how well I'm doing. That's great, but I want to normalize the going against the grain, so people who aren't as confident to do it will maybe feel, oh wait, it's not going against the grain, it's not weird, I'm actually going with the true grain instead of the made up grain.
Yeah.
And I think that's why lockdown was just a good time to do it, because I was scared as well, and lockdown just kind of forced the process, and yeah, that's why it happened then.
Yeah, I feel like during lockdown, because obviously we were separate, you went back home to Dundee to do your things.
I wasn't going to stay in a little flat roof for lockdown. Fuck that.
Obviously, I was here in my room where we are shooting this lovely podcast.
Yeah, Jersey.
Nice.
This place hits different, but anyway.
Yeah. I feel like we did create a movement, and more you than like us as a team, or like me and you, anything in that line. Yes, of course, we did our little Instagram lives and everything, and a lot of people joined in, and
we had some good ones.
We had really good lives.
Those things got deep in lockdown. That shit was cool.
Yeah, and it was also cool to know that there were other people, that were going through the same things, or there were people that wanted to talk through the problems, and in a way, like talking to a stranger about your problems, you feel like, okay, this person won't do anything about it because they don't know me. They won't keep grudges or anything in that line. And like, I feel like in some sort of way, those Instagram lives were like some people's entertainment for their day. Even though we did it late at
100%.
night, it's still like we had people come in and say hi, and people were coming in on a regular, like.
But a lot of people, like, when we missed a day, they'll be like, "Yo, where's the live? Like, what's cutting?"
It's funny because who knew, like, back then, that would be our little podcast basically at the end of the day.
100%.
And now it's basically a ratchet as shit.
That's actually true. I never thought about that. Like,
we've done it for like weeks.
Yeah, we let's put context. In lockdown last year, we went through a heavy lockdown, and Carlo and I decided to do a live every single day at night to just chat, share, like engage with people going through lockdown, find out how people were, and it took off. It did well.
Yeah.
Then lockdown got extended like crazy, and we kind of fell off that bus because it went from 21 days and ended up being like 6 months of lockdown. So. But yeah, I never thought about that, and here we are,
in front of cameras.
Dope.
Yeah. But that's the interesting part about NOR. I feel like we did bring a whole lot of people together, and we might have changed some people's perspectives. I know it changed my perspective of looking to the things I wanted to do in life. So yeah, it's really interesting of how you create this movement from someone's words telling you that you're not weird, you're just normal in an abnormal world, and that those words stuck to you.
I think it made sense because it made no sense.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to categorize myself, and I was like, and that was just weird enough to make.
Yeah, and
work.
now you've got this like meaning on you, and you've got it tattooed on you. You've got it tattooed on your arm, which is dope.
The crazy thing is, it's like we still have a small following.
Yeah.
And I'm still figuring out how to really make our videos embody NOR and normal and abnormal world. But even though the following isn't big, like I've had people ask permission to get this normal and abnormal world tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm like, get it. I didn't vlog for most of this year. I started getting DMs recently, like just before I released one of those vlogs there. And it's this random person I've never met, don't know, and they're like, yo.
Where's the vlogs?
Hey?
Where's the vlogs?
Yeah, literally, it was, I can pull up the message, but she said something like, yo, your content has inspired me to just be different. So it's a black girl who's got white parents. So obviously, and in Dundee, so obviously there's a bit of, like hardship that comes with that.
Yeah.
And she was just like, yo, your content inspires me. I love what you're doing. Can I buy your merch? I'm like, I don't actually have merch. It's just jerseys that I made for fun. But I promise you, once everything kicks off again and I come back, I'll definitely make a plan to get some stuff to you. And that kind of just made me realize, like, yo, why are you moving away from your personal goals in content? Because at that point I was throwing myself into client work a lot.
Yeah.
And it was sucking out all the creativity. And when I got that message, I was just like, yo, Daniel, like over the past couple months, random people message you about NOR. Why are you not carrying on with that? There are people that fuck with you. So now it's like, let me create for the 3 or 4 people that really dig it, where it's really helping, instead of trying to get a lot of people.
No, that's the thing though. Even if you look back to like huge content creators or someone, like everyone started somewhere, and in some way their fans are like their movement. Like in a way, if you were huge right now, let's say you've got like 1 million subscribers and everything, and you decided to just stop. Got a phone call. I'll just ignore it. It's funny to see how everything like progresses in a way. I completely lost my train of thought now. Can you believe that?
It's because I'm moving around probably.
And no, it's because of the phone call.
Do you want to answer it?
No, not really.
You might want to answer it, but it's going to stay on.
No, that's why I'm not going to answer it.
It will stay on the podcast.
Yeah.
You really did lose it. Now I'm sitting here like...
we were in such a groove and now we lost it.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about having a setup where you have to recheck your cameras. Why did this just switch off? I just restarted you. See, that's the one thing about having a setup like this is the management's a bit difficult, so it like kind of kicks you out of the groove. But I guess that's normal in an abnormal world at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's why we changed the name to Talks of Nor, because essentially that is what I wanted the podcast to be around, is like our team and the normal and abnormal people that we might encounter. Because at the end of the day, South Africa's got a lot of them. We have a lot of really interesting people. And if we go international, that would be sick too. But
so getting back to my main subject that I was focusing on, and you talking about, you only having 3 to 4 like viewers or people that actually mess with Nor and everything, and they want to be a part of the movement. I feel like when you want to create for those people, you like everyone starts somewhere. Like I said in the beginning, and before I lost my train of thought, it's like everyone starts somewhere. So if you had like 1 million followers in something and you just decided you wanted to disappear, like I feel like for those 1 million people that watched you or anything in that line, that camera switched off again.
That thing's battery might be flat.
Yeah. It's okay, we'll have 2
No
angles.
more wide angle.
Sorry.
Sororo.
It's funny because if you decided you wanted to disappear without telling your followers and everything, those people would check up on you and start DMing you and be like, yo, where are you? Like, we need your content and everything. We need your inspiration.
Yeah.
So I feel like for some content creators out there, it might be a bit troubling, to stay on the social media platform because of the whole movement they created. And if you don't stick to what you're doing now and you lose your movement, I feel like your followers or your viewers, those people also at the end of the day feel like, oh shit, okay, now I need to find something else to give me that motivation daily.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I'm working on so many different channels.
Yeah.
Because I never started YouTube to have me, Daniel or Shadless, get somewhere and be famous. I did it because I enjoyed creating content and I wanted to just put random stuff out there, especially being in South Africa, and I've lived a pretty interesting life. I want people to attach to the brand, not the people, because like we spoke about this last night with all the different channels and all the different strategies we're moving forward with now. There's a lot going on and we might not always be on every single video.
That's true.
As much as people are going to attach to a personality, that's 100% fine. But I want them to attach more to the brand and what Nor is, because it's going to get to a point where I'm going to move off and focus on walls and
definitely,
tulips.
but I mean, for all of us at the end of the day, that's why there is so much channels. I mean, at the end of the day, like doing a podcast, even though it's the first one with me on now, it's fun sitting and just chatting.
100%.
We do that all the time.
And
why
that's
not
why
film
I
it?
said, yeah, 100%.
Because some people might just take a few words that we say and put it into their lives and take some advice we say. Like, I encourage you to take that advice, even though it's the dumbest advice I would ever give you. I'm just 19 years old for now.
Hopefully for now.
I'm just 19 years old and I still have my whole life ahead of me. But being 19 and being in this industry is so cool because you learn a lot of things. There's people that are in this industry and they're 30 years old and those things, and they still love what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think of it sometimes and I'm like, I'm in this industry like capable of doing my own things, buying my own things, and I'm only 19. Like, this industry has so much to offer. There's YouTubers that are out there that's 13, or streamers out there that's 13, and those kids are killing it. I mean,
that's where the world's gone. And that's the cool thing about this industry. It takes a lot of guts and self-belief to actually move into it.
yeah.
Especially because we've seen how long it really takes.
No, it takes
It's,
long, but it's like with anything. At the end of the time, if you want to become a photographer, if you want to become a streamer or whatever it is, even become a lawyer or something, you know, you have to invest your time into that craft to master
100%.
it.
It's a 10,000 hours rule.
Yeah.
You have to do your thing for 10,000 hours to really get great at it.
Yeah, to become good at it.
Yeah.
And
And that's the thing. It's like the whole overnight success talk. Like, it doesn't really exist. There's
it
so much
doesn't.
work before that. But it's what I love about this industry is that the people that are in it, especially the people that really stayed authentic in it, are basically they're normal in an abnormal world.
Yeah,
It's
they are.
so difficult to stick to it when you're only getting 20, 30, 40 views, and then your blow up is 150.
Yeah.
But 150 blow up is like, oh my fuck, that's so cool.
But that 150 blow up still that allows you to keep on pushing.
Yeah, 100%.
And then
100%.
by the time you wipe your eyes, you've got 1 million views per video. And I feel like that's where most people go wrong. Is I feel like people go watch their viewerships and everything to see how their numbers doing and all that.
It is nice.
Yeah, no, it is nice. But at the end
yeah.
of the day, numbers don't mean shit.
I struggled with that. I believed it, but I struggled with it until Volvo said, here's a car.
Yeah.
When Volvo gave us that car for a month and a half, I was sitting on 2,000 followers?
Yeah, we were sitting on 2,000 followers around that time.
On Instagram, not even like YouTube.
Yeah,
just
that's just Instagram. And it's like the whole Volvo campaign and everything. I want to talk about this a little bit because that led to you meeting some of South Africa's famous people, and you didn't recognize them.
I didn't know any of them were.
And this is a funny story because during the Volvo campaign and everything, you went to a Volvo event where they showed some art on Volvos and everything, and you know, all of the people that were on the campaign came together and had a nice meal and everything. Sadly, I wasn't there, but you were. And tell me a bit about that story, because that's still one of the most interesting things is you get recognized by famous people in South Africa and you still don't know who they are.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. It kind of made me realize that South Africa is very far behind in the content game.
Yeah.
We, like, if you think about all the famous people, we have like Charlize Theron, but she's only as big as she is because she left.
Yeah.
Casper's only as big as he is because he left. Dan Mace is only as big as he is because he left. He's come back, which is great, and I love to see that he's an SA because he can also help pioneer the new content world in this country.
But see, that's one of the reasons why he came back and opened his own business over here.
So I would love to help pioneer the you need bodyguard type fame in this country. Yeah. Not because I want people to get like attacked by their fans, but just because I appreciate this country because we're super relaxed and you're just a human being to me. But
that's the one thing. Like South Africans don't have crazy fans that, you know, storm your house.
Levels to it. There's levels to it,
obviously
100%.
There's levels to it. I mean,
but I haven't seen it that badly in this country.
Not
like
yet.
If you look overseas, it's ridiculous. If we are just more chill, that's cool. But we'll see where it goes. But anyway, it was an interesting event. It was my first like real insane red carpet event. Like I've been to a couple fancy events, but this was up there.
This topped the cake.
This topped it. From wine pairings with GH Mum to the food at this fancy hotel, like everything, 5-course meal, and I'm sitting at a table with literally millions and millions and millions of followers.
Yeah.
Firstly, like the event was also hosted by one of South Africa's biggest designers, Richard Nisi, which was insane. He rapped the one Volvo. The people sitting right next to me were some YouTube reaction channel, to girls with a decent following. I think the craziest thing is I didn't recognize any of them. One, because I don't watch that kind of content.
Yeah.
but also I realized that it's niche and it's industry. And the cool thing about it was I didn't realize that I actually did have some sort of reach without feeling like I did. Because I remember this one lady coming to me and she was just like, yo, we need to talk and whatever, like let's chat about your tour. And the PR lady that was working with us from Volvo was like, hey, you really need to go talk to her. She is like famous. And I'm like, I really don't know who this is. I don't know what the hype's about. And chat to a few people. I was actually talking to editors from GQ magazine. And that guy was like, oh, you see that girl? And it's the girl that everyone's saying was talk to, the one that said we should talk. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, she's got like 2.2 million followers. I'm like, you fucking lying to me. It's like, no, check her on Instagram. I go on Instagram, 2.2 million. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, here I am. I don't recognize anyone. Yeah. They recognize me because of the tour and the concept of it. And obviously the PR teams and everyone from Volvo were talking. But it's like, I realize that we can be anything because these people are walking up to me going, yo, are you the kids doing the tour? Yes, we are. Oh, okay, well, let's chat about it. I want to find out more. And that was fucking mind-blowing, bro. Like, I think I had the cheapest suit there. Obviously, like, everyone's in Gucci, Louis Vuitton, fucking everything crazy. And I'm
you
there
even said the waiters wore Gucci.
Bro, the waiter had Gucci belts on. And I'm there in fucking Mr. Price shirt, Mr. Price pants, Markham's shoes. But I felt like $1 million. And I wish I could have brought everyone there. But
but here's the thing though. I feel like that was your first like experienced fame in a way, because all these famous people knew who you were and you didn't. And as soon as you got to the event and everything, and people started recognizing you, like it's so funny how a camera changed both our lives. And
100%.
I can speak for a lot of people out there who's photographers, filmmakers, YouTubers. A camera can change your life with a snap.
100%.
You still need to master your craft and everything, but it takes one video to make you go viral, right? But that's not overnight success, though.
Yeah, but
it's the difference between going viral and staying viral.
And also, like,
that's how you become
a lot of the people.
One of those people.
There aren't many people that post their first video that goes viral.
Yeah.
Most of the people, and that's the overnight success thing. Most people have like hundreds of videos before that one
and
where
then
it kicks off.
They posted one, and that one boosted their whole channel.
So that's kind of how I feel. I'm waiting for that one, but also I'm enjoying creating for the people who are there.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And it's like that event was refreshing to me, and everything moving past that point. Like that was the first time I'm like, damn, like shit's happening on social media. This is really cool. And then this year meeting Carlo and John, who we all know is a massive TikToker, and all these people, but sitting with them having conversation as just two normal human beings, not as, oh my gosh, you're famous. That was cool. And
I feel like that's the thing when it comes to people like John and all those other creators in South Africa. It's like you get recognized for the things you do, and people come up to you to ask photos and stuff like that. And when you meet other creators that are in the same industry, they don't treat you like a higher power and like fan over you or anything. They just want to talk to you about the general things that you guys have in common in the industry. And I feel like when you were with John and Kurt April and everything, you felt like some way this would be like normal in an abnormal world. Let's say some sort of meetup where people who were on their own as well and felt different in a way, and they just decided the hell with it, I'll be that weird kid. And look where they are now. And the same goes for you. I mean, look at the story.
It's so interesting, dude. I was talking to my aunt about this. It was when the first cell phones came out with video capability. And then my uncle gave us a camera. So I must have been maybe between 8 and 10 years old. My cousins and I used to shoot movies. Like actual fucking movies. Obviously they were horrible and like home video, but they were planned out action movies. And throughout the years, moving away, doing different things, getting into the fitness industry, doing that, doing this, which is also a completely interesting story, like getting 2 cameras. But now sitting in it, doing it is insane. And I just want to be able to create a brand where people push themselves to do what they want, but also where I don't want it to be... Jeez, I lost my train of thought. Fuck it.
Nice.
Nice. But yeah, I just want it to be a great brand that people can relate to and push them to be as great as they can be.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we all have so much opportunity. And whenever you look around you, you see it. You just kind of need to seize it. And that conversation goes into so many different areas. Like, obviously, we have different pressures from so many places.
No, definitely.
But sticking with it is probably the most important thing. And yeah, I'm just excited to carry on. Like,
so would you say being a content creator in South Africa is harder or easier?
I'm gonna be honest, I think it's really fucking easy. But it depends on what kind of content creator you're gonna be.
Based in South Africa.
Yeah, I think it's easy. But so we have content creator as in social media star.
Yeah.
We have content creator as in traditional media, photographer, videographer, client work, etc., etc. I'd say as a photographer, videographer, content creator for social media marketing and photo shoots and things like that, easy. Very, very easy if you know what you're doing.
For media marketing and everything, that from a photographer's standpoint, it's really easy. Yes, you get your clients that's a bit iffy about your work and everything, but at the same time,
I think it's easy to make it.
Yeah.
I did it quite quickly. You've done it, but also sticking with your guns. Don't copy people, because when I moved to Durban, the only reason I started getting a lot of work is because
you had that authentic look.
I did everything differently. I didn't want to copy things. If a model showed me a picture on Pinterest, I'd just get over the shoot, which is wrong, but also like, stop giving me cuck. You hired me for a reason. So in that sense, I think it's easy. In like YouTube, social media sensation, I think that's a bit more difficult because our country, we have our own very special country, but it's also very split.
Yeah.
We love what people overseas are doing, but we hate to see South Africans copy it. So we don't really watch. But our demographics so different. So I think to really break the code for South African YouTube is difficult. If you get international, 100%, that's dope. That's why a lot of these people did well leaving. But I think we can crack the code, especially in the new South Africa where everything's starting to kind of gel and people are starting to come together a bit more. I think content will definitely get a boom. I don't think the YouTube boom happened yet. But yeah, that is a bit more tough. TikTok's definitely helped.
TikTok helped South Africa quite a lot.
We've got a lot of big TikTokers, but still not big YouTubers. And I think that's what we still need, is TikTok. As great as TikTok is, and you can make a living and great things happen there, YouTube is still the king.
Yeah, no, we definitely have a lot of YouTubers in South Africa, but not quite to the point where everyone's got like, that boundary of like, shit, I know who that person is.
We have
through
some
YouTube.
Big fucking YouTubers, but I want to see our YouTubers get Nelk Boys level, Logan Paul level, Mr. Beast level. Like, I want to see South Africa
and
boom
I think
like that.
That's the thing that at the end of the day we are aiming for, like all of the channels. I mean, we've got Daniel Osh, which is your personal YouTube channel, and you decided to take things in.
Fuck around,
that you've kind of taken things into your own control and decided filming again for yourself, like not having anyone holding the camera for you or anything in that line yet. I'm quite sure you'll still have scenes where someone holds the camera.
But I wanted to just be more like,
and then
memory sake.
We've got the podcast now. That's this little setup, wherever it's going to be. Because I feel like this setup's also going to travel the world with us while we travel.
100%.
Because obviously we would like to sit down and have a moment where we talk and all those things, wherever it's here, Durban, Cape Town, or even Bali for some odd reason. And then there's the Noor channel, for the super cinematic stuff, Sam Corder type of videos, and something that has a story to it, and something that pushes creatives' drive to go on and push forward with whatever they are doing. Even if the person's not creative or this person's sitting in a 9-to-5 job, I feel like that's still going to give that person motivation to like get things done ASAP.
100%. I think that's the thing. Like a lot of people might say I'm spreading myself thin with having so many channels, but they're all my personality. But you have to niche out.
No,
So
true.
It's like my vlogs are just pieces of my week, for example. And then Adventures in Awe is like the tour and the country and high production and cinematics, documentary, because I enjoy that.
Yes.
I got into filmmaking. I just didn't really want to stay working with clients. And I have things that I want to say. And then the channel that we're working on a video for that hasn't really launched, that's also our personality, but a completely different side of it. So I'm trying to hit every avenue. And it's all normal in an abnormal world, so it's all on brand. So that's why I don't feel like I'm spreading thin.
Yeah.
And then the podcast, like, I like talking. We have so many conversations. Why not put it on a camera? And I have a lot of guests that would be keen to come on, like you've spoken about. We've met some cool people where they're just people at this point.
Yeah, no, that'll be nice to have like a whole bunch of guests, and I would like to talk about this topic again in the future with like other people like John and Good April, all of those creatives that are like in the TikTok industry as well as the music industry, because I feel like that'll be pretty cool to hear every person's different perspective.
100%. But I also think like one of the cool things I want to try push, and it's one of the reasons I already had Simone on the podcast, who's just a best friend. I say just a best friend, like not just fuck it, whatever.
No, but
not like a famous.
No, but she
guest.
still means a lot to you, and she'll be, even if you're very famous in South Africa, like. She's still going to be one of those people.
She's still my day one homie. I'll buy her an event or all sorts of things. No, she wants an Aston Martin. Anyway. But nice. I want to bring her and more of just my friends, more of just everyday people on as well.
Yeah.
Because everyday people have stories.
No, like, they definitely do. And I feel like when it comes to, having that mixture of people, you've got your creatives and you've got your 9-to-5 people and you've got other people as well that, just do their own thing.
It's like, I understand for the views you need to bring all these crazy people on, but there's success stories under what we see as success. All these people on podcasts we watch are talking about how they found happiness after they found money and all these things, so people want to watch them. But what about the people that work a 9-to-5 but have also found happiness? They have a very average paying job, but they are happy. I want to talk to those people, and I think I want to bring more relatable people on. So the one girl I want to bring on, just a person I know, but she went through a teenage pregnancy. She now has a baby, and I want to bring her on because there's other people that go through that. It's not.
Yeah, I see the standpoint where you're coming from. Like you want to involve everyday people as well, because
I want it to be relatable.
That's the thing. Like some of the viewers might also just be everyday people that go to a job 9-to-5, and they're looking for something to relate to. It's not like going to watch a Joe Rogan podcast with, let's say, Kevin Hart or something like that. Yeah, those podcasts are still cool. We still watch it and everything, but still, these famous people go through their own things, and famous people relate to famous
100%.
people. It's like Steve said on the Narc Boys podcast, it's like the more money you have, the more problems you have, and that's correct. And
it's very human problems at the end of the day.
Yeah, like everything's going to be human problems at the end of the day. Like we all go through the same thing, but some people might just go through more. And I feel like for people to relate to those stories, they'll feel like, okay, damn, I feel a connection to these people. I feel a connection to this person. Let me go see what this person's life is all about. And then they realize, oh shit, this is also just a normal human being.
Yeah, that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's also, I know we watch content because we long for things, and it's nice to get advice from people who are famous. But the reality of it is, not everyone has the work ethic to be great.
No,
everyone wants to be great, but not everyone has a work ethic. So why not create content for the people that might not have made it? Or maybe the people that don't actually want to make it that big.
It's true. Like I saw this quote once, and it said, "You have like $1 million dreams, but you have work ethic of like a 5 cent."
Yeah, 100%.
It's
And
it all comes down to your expectations of life and how you see life in your own ways.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
if you only see life, like
so
it's boring.
the thing is, the
No.
people that want to be great are going to watch the people that are great. And that's fine.
True.
You cater for them. But there are people that watch you because it's entertaining or whatever reason, but might not want to have the same life.
Yeah.
So why not give them content of, okay, you don't want to be famous, you don't want to be rich, but you want to be happy. So let me talk to everyday people who found happiness or are trying to find happiness or go through real problems, have real stories, and let's chat to them as well. Because at the end of the day, that's where a lot of the authentic stories live. It's some of the most favorite people I've ever spoken to have the craziest stories, but no one knows about them. Like, for example, the guy in Utrecht, Nico Moorman with the private museum. He has met Jimi Hendrix before Jimi Hendrix was famous. He's been to the craziest concerts overseas. He studies for fun the history of all the wars in this country. He's got the first edition Shakespeare books. Like, the first ever book that had Shakespeare writing in it, he has them. He's fuck, bro, the stories he has. But no one knows about him. But if in that moment that I sat with him, just having a conversation, I was like, holy shit, I can learn everything from you.
Yeah.
You've figured it out. Like, you're fucking happy living on this farm in the middle of nowhere, doing what you love. And that's no at the end of the day, is find your happiness, your truth, and go with that flow. And that's the thing. It's I want it to be relatable, and I want it to be refreshing in that sense. And I would like to think that when I'm big and you're big and we're all big and famous and whatever, I don't want to be categorized as the rich and famous.
No.
Like, I'd like to go sit on a podcast that's small, that people just want to ask real life
Same.
questions. I want people to just come up to me and talk. Obviously, there's limits to certain things,
but small podcasts don't get that opportunity yet. Like, to talk with famous people. I mean,
and the thing
it'll be silly for us to sit now and talk to.
When famous people talk to famous people, they talk about famous people problems.
Yeah, they do.
They don't.
But that's the thing. When you get like the opportunity to give a small podcast a famous guest, like, do it, because at the end of the day, no one's done that also as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like that podcast would also be interesting because it's two individuals that don't live the same like life or anything in that line. And I would like to see how that podcast would progress and what the host of that small podcast would talk about. Because at the end of the day, everyone has different things they would want to talk about. I feel like that's the authentic feel of podcasts is the fact that you can have this and that and this and that guest. Yes, this guest might be on Impulsive, and then that same guest would be on Joe Rogan's podcast, but they still differ because they don't talk about the same things.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I love the concept of the bar talks thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just conversation. Like, I would imagine sitting with a famous person and you don't talk about them. Talk about like their grandfather who served in the war, who was basically a nobody, but he was somebody because he was in the war, instead of talking about them and their money. Or imagine talking about the fundamentals of what makes them tick outside of being famous. Like, I'd love to have Nasty C sit with me and I can ask him a question like, what was it like being a Zululand boy?
Yeah.
Like, you're a Zululand boy. It's
how was that?
you're from this
childhood?
country. Like, now you're overseas. It's great. I'm so happy for your success. But I'd love to chat about
dig into the past and
who
all those
you
things.
are and what you were before the fame.
Yeah.
And I know some people do get into that, but I don't want the answers to be like, oh yeah, this. I want it to be like an authentic, oh yeah, used to chill on this beach and do this with my boys and chow sugarcane here, and I can be like, oh fuck, sugarcane, bro, fuck me.
Yeah, you've done
like,
the same thing.
And that's the thing, is the relatability of it all. Because at the end of the day, and I think that's why I like streaming, especially gaming streaming, is you have a streamer playing with an NFL football player
Yeah.
and they become mates because the barrier of who you are breaks down and you just chat and you actually get to know each other as human beings. And I think that's what would be cool to be able to convey. Like, I don't want people to be scared on talking about things. I understand the world is extremely soft and cancel culture is a thing. I kind of don't want to worry about cancel culture. Like, if you just want to say something, get fucked. But
Yeah, no, I feel like everyone has their own opinion in life, and it is true. Like, you have your own opinion, but with today's society, you've also got to watch out what you're saying.
yeah, but it's also like, if you say it behind closed doors, get fucked. If you don't know me as a fundamental human being, and that's what annoys me, is like one sentence can get you cancelled, but you don't understand, you don't know the person, you don't understand the person, so there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
Like, I can say, oh my gosh, this non-binary movement is annoying.
Yeah.
That gets clipped and I get cancelled because now I'm against everyone who doesn't want to identify as male or female.
It's funny that you brought it up because it's how they put on social media that Daniel Craig, the current James Bond, doesn't want a female to become the next James Bond. And in reality, the news article said that they should, instead of carrying on as 007 as, you know, make her a double agent or like just an agent for 007, he categorized and said they should go on with the franchise but not make her 007 and make her a new character to the franchise.
Yeah,
you know how you know Fast and Furious made Hobbs and Shaw and shit like that, because I feel like that'll be also more authentic. And they did it with games as well. I don't know if you know the game Uncharted.
I know
like you had Uncharted 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then number 5 was all of a sudden, you know, one of the female characters that were in some of the previous games, and they named it Uncharted, but they gave it another another name. I think they gave it like Lost Legacy or something like that. And that's the cool thing about it. They still carried on with the franchise. The thing's still the same, but they just made it like a side section to equal it. You know, and I think
100%.
that's the cool thing.
I think that's cool, but that's the thing. People need to understand. Like, I'd imagine Daniel Craig probably got hate on it.
Yeah, no, definitely. But
sit down with Daniel Craig and go, why? And logically think about why the person's saying what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because we have such an issue today with people being soft, but no one's like, okay, let me listen to what you're saying and let me process it like a logical human being. Everyone's just so quick to fucking clap the whole time.
But
and like,
once again, that's
with what I've now said about the whole non-binary thing, I am best mates with people who are like that. I have no issue with it. I agree that there's something everyone can say, but also everyday life is everyday life. I apologize if I call you she, because that's what you look like and I don't know you. Let's chat. You tell me why and that you identify as an ironing board, and then I'll refer to you as one.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get clapped for saying it's annoying. I didn't say I hate it or people are dumb for doing it.
But still.
In certain aspects it's annoying. Because in certain aspects it really doesn't work. Like,
but to some of us it might be confusing.
Yeah, it's 100% confusing.
And then you just get clapped
instead of having someone help me understand. It's like,
see,
get
that's
fucked.
the thing.
But then also you don't understand my point of view. Like, if I think about it, for example, say a guy wants to be a girl and he joins the UFC and now he fights against women and he punches a girl, which has happened, and he breaks the person's face. Sorry for saying he, but like, this person who was male is now a girl fighting girls, definitely stronger. You will damage the person on the other side of your fist. Mm-hmm. But why is that allowed? Just because you're identifying differently. Powerlifting.
Even though you've still got like male aspects.
Yeah, it's like there's a powerlifter who was male, sucked as a powerlifter, went and became female.
Wasn't she in the Olympics?
She was. And she did well.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. Personally,
because male aspects
you are stronger.
Yeah,
it's just how our anatomy is made up.
Yeah,
I have no issue with you wanting to do what you do, but let's create a new show.
Segment. Yeah,
like, okay, here is the Olympics for people who want to change.
See, that's
for transgender Olympics, this.
I feel like with how everyone's been like changing and everything, by all means change. You do you. At the end of the day, it's your life. You live your life.
And I'll be mated.
It's funny because it's like you saw that video last night of the old lady talking about how she didn't feel like she did enough in her life.
Yeah.
And everyone's scared of being judged and everything. You're going to get judged in your life no matter what you do. No matter what you do. So even if it's... it's funny saying this, but even if it's like you wanting to get a tattoo and your mom wants to kick you out of the house if you do. Like, at the end of the day, guaranteed your parents won't kick you out of the house just because of a silly tattoo you got on your
I think
body.
there are people that would, but you are right. Those are extreme cases.
It's taking the risk of it and then not being able to like look back to it and feel like, shit, I should have gotten that thing while I was younger.
It's like when I got cut off by my parents, it was like, okay, cool, I need to work really hard. And then when I got my hand tattoos and people were like, what about jobs? I was just like,
I'm not going to get jobs.
I don't want to be hired. I want to work for myself. And it's just kind of that pushing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, like, that's the thing. Understand me before you want to clap at me. And I think that goes with everyone. There's a lot of things I don't agree with, but it doesn't mean I don't like you if you like that or you do that. The wide variety of friends I have is ridiculous. Like, for example, I'm not Christian. A lot of my friends are very Christian. But we can debate it and talk about it from each other's points of views and not get aggressive or offended or whatever.
That's the thing.
We might get a little heated here and there,
but
we never get offended.
You would never get offended and you would never like, oh no, we can't be friends because of this reason. Like,
but O's are just soft nowadays. It's easy to clap. And Juri said it well in the podcast with Simone. He was like, it's easy to bring yourself in a place of anger and hurt because it's a comfortable place to be.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you push out of that, you're going against everyone who's in that.
Yeah.
And that's difficult. And right now we just have so many extremes. It's like the extreme soft and the extreme hard. And the extreme soft are clapping the extreme hard. And the extreme hard are going, fuck you. We can't just live. Which is a bit of a fuck up. But
I feel like that was a good section to like kind of also just end it off. I mean,
I think this one was a good one. Is like,
it gives you a lot to think about at the end of the day. I feel like a lot of people can go out with this information and be like, yo, I can take this risk and whatever happens, happens. Like, it's not going to like end your life or anything in that line. And the same thing goes with the non-binary thing. It's, you do you. You can still be friends with that person no matter what the changes they do to their life. It's at the end of the day, it's their life, it's their choices. You're going to get judged no matter what. So just go out and do the things you love instead of being old 100%. And then looking back at that day and regretting it.
100%. And also not be so fucking clappy when you don't understand things, because one of the biggest things is if I have a friend who's non-binary, I might make non-binary jokes. I have a friend who does it, I understand it, we're close. Don't clap at me, because I can guarantee people who clap at you probably don't have those friends.
Yeah.
They're just trying to feel important.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, normal and abnormal world, you do you. Because that's what it's actually about. Stay in a lane. Like, I'm so calm. Like, people can say whatever the fuck they want. For example, quickly, cancer jokes. I love cancer jokes. I lost my mom to cancer. Who the fuck are you to give me shit about making jokes here and there when you're actually just getting offended because you feel like being offended?
Yeah.
Like, I could easily get offended by cancer.
No, definitely.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
It's the same as someone makes a your mama joke and then you're like, oh shit, my mom's not here.
I'll probably make that joke and laugh.
Yeah.
Like, and people will think I'm fucking dumb, but
it's
when you start becoming comfortable with who you are and you start becoming comfortable with the reality of life.
Yes.
And that's it. That's another thing I want the podcast to be for. I've made a lot of realizations that I want to share them, especially like on death and stuff. I'm so chilled with shit that happens in the world that you almost can't get offended.
Right.
Because it's 100% a choice.
Yeah,
but yeah, this was a good one.
No, it was.
I'm keen to see you be a co-host for the show.
Yeah. If you like this video, please give us a subscribe and I would say a like as well.
Yeah, and
Comment
if there's
down
anything,
below. Yeah, comment down below if there's anything you would want us to talk about in the future.
Yeah. I think that would be cool if there's anything you want the boys to talk about. And then we just have one of these
Because I feel like the
conversations.
boys' podcast would be a lot
And
into
It
it.
might be opinion based, and we can get friends in and just have an entire podcast where we share our opinions. Because quite frankly, I'm not actually scared of sharing my opinion because get fucked. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to end it off with that.
And we will have
Get
guests.
fucked.
Get fucked. But stay normal in an abnormal world. We will get guests anyway. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And we shall see you next week, Sunday.
Another one.
I should not have put tequila in there because now I just want to drink more tequila.
Drink, drink, drink,
I
drink.
might have one more
Nice.
while I export
Okay.
all this footage.
Bye, Felicia.